Some have said that comics really have gone too political in recent years, and that there's been just too much politics in comics that always avoided it. Well, let's take you back to 2008 and a time when DC in particular went all in on politics with a little title called DC Universe Decisions. Hey everybody, this is Perch. This is the first of 4 videos reviewing what is largely an event people have forgotten about. Event's the wrong word, very much the wrong word. This is a little 4-issue series, and it was written by Bill Willingham, Judd Winick, with pencils by Rick Leonardi. And it's it's an interesting little event. Basically, the premise is, what do our superheroes who do they support politically? Who do they are they Republicans, or are they Democrats, or are they independents? And how would they interact with an election? So what's interesting about this is that the comic made the decision, we'll get into the review in a second, basically not to have a at the time John McCain and a Barack Obama, and instead they basically created 4 fictional characters. They created 2 Democrats, 2 Republicans, Davis Brewster and Martin Suarez on the Democrat side, one with kind of more established ties, the other one's kind of more of an idealist, up and coming, and then Catherine McClellan and Bob Ridgway for the Republicans. Bob Ridgway is your classic kind of, military and religion guy, and Catherine McClellan is your classic kind of conservative woman who's trying to change things and kind of break into the party. So it was a lot of 4 very stereotypical candidates. So how does this issue do? Does it handle politics with grace? What does it do? It was promised to reveal once and for all if your favorite heroes were Democrats or Republicans. Does it do that? Well, yes and no. So our comic opens on a little rally for Kate McClellan, and she is the Republican here who's kind of the upcoming insurgent. And as she's giving her speech, a woman shows up with suicide bombs around her. And, good old robot man here finds her and grabs her. I don't know what he's doing at this rally, but he's just kind of hanging out. And just before the bomb goes off, she is confused. Wait, what am I doing here? How did I get here? How did I get these bombs on me? And then the explosion goes. And we basically pick up that, several people were killed. It was a bad tragedy with dozens dead and lots of damage and everything else. And that they're worried about this mystery. So Superman and Batman are kind of looking into this thing. They're like, we need to figure out where it's going. And this leads us to a conversation between old buddies, Hal Jordan and Green Lantern and Green Arrow. And we know these are the 2 characters really in comics that have been portrayed as the liberal and the conservative, with Green Arrow and Green Lantern respectively. So they come in here and they stumble across this kind of very Unabomber style layer where, with thumbtacks and things posted to the wall. And they realize that, whoever this person is, whoever this assassin is targeting all the candidates, all 4 of them. Which, in 2008 was a horrifying prospect. Not as much in 2020. I'm not endorsing anything. Just not at all. Anyway, so back at the JLA headquarters, Superman has assembled kind of a variety of heroes here. And he's basically saying, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go into the crowds and we're going to basically go undercover, try and root out, both protect people and figure out who this assassin is. And Green Arrow points in that, hey, man, I don't like your plan. I want to be assigned to somebody that I agree with politically. So it'll be way easier if I'm putting my neck on the line for just some politician. I just as soon to be the one I support. And this leads to a bit of an argument of Green Lantern like, hey, wait a minute, you wouldn't protect somebody you disagree with? And Green Arrow's like, no, I'm just saying if we have a preference, why not accommodate it? That way, he won't go crazy listening to daily speeches of a candidate he disagrees with, which might distract him. So anyway, Superman's like, you dumbasses. But he's like, all right, fine. So basically in Philadelphia, Green Arrow shows up kind of be around and protect Brewster. And Brewster is immediately, like, the media is here. It's interesting, again, in the context of this being 2008, there's just some interesting things here. But anyway, the media is like taking his words out of context. And then just as he's like getting pissed off at the reporters making up stuff, somebody reveals to have a bomb. So Green Arrow manages to, basically use his splatter arrow, the Sub-Zero arrow, sorry. Looks like he's taking a big, giant load to the face. Anyway, he basically makes a bomb inert, and as he's dragging the guy off, he doesn't know what he's doing there. He doesn't know how he got there. And so it's like, well, somebody's mind controlling these people. The reporter, basically, Green Arrow tries to do the right thing by saying, hey, I know I snapped at you for saying there wasn't a bomb, but it turned out there was. Why don't, I'm sorry about that. And she's like, how about an exclusive? So then they have an exclusive in her living room? I don't know, somewhere. Anyway, they've got this little thing. And they're talking back and forth. And, Green Arrow is basically saying, why, some people are talking about Davis Brewster as being a radical left-wing nut. And Green Arrow's like, great interest, threaten the status quo. And she takes this to be an official endorsement for Davis Brewster. And, once again, kind of fake news. So anyway, she jumps right on it and basically declares that Green Arrow has endorsed a candidate. And this is now causing some trouble. So we see, Hal Jordan like, you dumbass. And then back in the Lois and Clark household, Lois is trying to wheedle out from Clark who he's going to vote for. And Clark is maintaining his position as being proud for the time-honored tradition of the secret ballot. Basically, Clark is saying what I think many of us nowadays are thinking, which is, I wish everybody would just shut the F up about this stuff and just vote with their heart and not have to blab about it all the time. But Lois is persistent. Like, you got to tell me, you got to tell me, you got to tell me. And just as she's really starting to pin him down, there's an emergency. So he flies off, which really doesn't seem like a big emergency because he flies into the Batcave. He's like, so what's up, Bruce? And it's like, it doesn't, I don't know. He basically, Clark doing a good job of getting the hell out of there. So they basically are kind of trying to dig into this thing. They're coming to the conclusion that there was some mind control going on. And so meanwhile, in the Brewster campaign, Davis Brewster saying, hey, Green Arrow says one nice thing about me and I'm getting an uptick in votes. Clearly, they're coming to the conclusion that celebrity endorsements are a good thing, that they work. And so as they ponder this stunning development, Perry White's called Lois into his office and basically saying, you need to show the other on-air personalities how to commit actual journalism by going and just, basically covering the election. We want you to cover the election. She's like, the election's not news. North Korea is going to disarm their nukes. And he's like, North Korea will never discontinue the nukes. They won't make any promises. This is stupid. And Lois is coming back with on-air camera news coverage is for blow-dried imbeciles. It's like, speak truth to power, Lois. What can I say? So anyway, as they're going back and forth and continuing to investigate this mystery, they're really trying to figure out, who could be controlling these people. Maybe it's somebody deceased and other things. But Senator Davis Brewster's aide starts really putting the screws to Green Arrow, saying, you got to endorse this guy. You got to do it. It is important. You need to vote with your conscience. His programs will lift millions out of poverty. And so he makes the compelling argument. And the next day, old Green Arrow proudly, formally endorses Senator Brewster. And this is great for the polls. 15-point jump. I don't think Green Arrow is that popular. But then, we get some reflections from the heroes. Superman's like, dummy. Wonder Woman's like, he's not a warrior. And Green Lantern's just, Hal Jordan's just holding his head, you dummy. And so now it's made their investigation more complicated because they've tied in themselves into the story. So that's how our first issue ends. 4 issues to go. Will they solve the mystery? Will they figure out who's brainwashing everyone? Will there be more fake news? How did you read this series? How did you feel? This was all politics, definitely all about politics a mere 12 years ago. How have things changed? It's interesting to see the reactions, but I'll see you for issue 2 Let me know your thoughts, comments below. Like, subscribe, click the bell for notifications, and thanks for listening.